Navigating the teenage years can be a complex journey for both parents and children, and establishing clear boundaries is essential for fostering a sense of security and promoting healthy development. It's in the unwritten job description of an adolescent to engage in exploration and self-discovery, and this time in a child's life is marked by a desire for independence and a quest for identity. As teenagers push the limits of autonomy, it becomes increasingly vital for parents to define the parameters within which their children can operate. Research has shown that adolescents thrive when they have a clear understanding of what is expected of them. According to a study by Steinberg in 2001, adolescents who perceive their parents as providing clear rules and their expectations are less likely to engage in risky behaviors and more likely to exhibit a positive social, emotional development. This calls to mind an interesting anecdote I remember hearing years ago, which described an interesting phenomenon that happened with children playing on an open field in an inner-city school. The fence around the field was broken and had been removed, awaiting the new one. The first few days without the fence, and the children tended to huddle in the center of the field and would not explore the boundaries. It was only when the school's admin team arranged a temporary knee-high rope fence around the perimeter of the field that the students felt the freedom to play on the entire field. Clearly, this new boundary wasn't solid enough to prevent the students from easily climbing over the fence, but the sense of safety and security that the boundary provided allowed the children to venture further and engage more fully in the activities across the whole field. This phenomenon has helped many research studies to conclude that boundaries that are not overstructured or controlling serve as a psychological cue that promotes exploration and play, as children understand that they have a safe space within which they can operate. If I may move from the idea of a physical boundary to a more metaphorical boundary, things such as rules, laws, and even values and societal expectations, it's important to note that setting boundaries is not merely about enforcing rules. It's about creating a safe environment where teenagers, like the children on the playing field, feel secure. When children know what is expected of them, they can navigate their world with greater confidence. Boundaries provide a framework for decision-making, helping them distinguish between acceptable and unacceptable behavior. This structure is particularly important during adolescence, a time when peer influence can be overwhelming, and a clear sense of appropriate boundaries helps an adolescent to understand the consequences of their decisions. Clear expectations can serve as a guiding compass, enabling teenagers to make choices that align with their values and family principles. It's also been found that establishing boundaries fosters open communication between parents and their children. And then when parents take the time to explain the reasoning behind certain rules, it encourages dialogue and mutual understanding. A study by Smetana in 2011 indicates that adolescents who engage in discussions about rules and expectations with their parents are more likely to internalize these guidelines and understand their importance. This collaborative approach not only strengthens the parent-child relationship, but also empowers teenagers to take ownership of their behavior. It's also essential to consider the developmental stage of adolescence when setting boundaries. During this time, teenagers are grappling with their identities and testing their limits. J.J. Arnett suggested in 1999 that adolescence is characterized by a search for autonomy, and as a result, teens may resist boundaries. However, it's crucial to strike a balance between granting independence and maintaining structure. Parents should provide opportunities for their children to make choices while ensuring that there's still limits in place. This approach helps adolescents feel respected and valued, reinforcing their sense of security. Consistency is key when it comes to boundaries. Inconsistency can lead to confusion and anxiety, leaving teenagers uncertain about what is expected of them. A study by Dishyung and McMahon in 1998 highlights the importance of consistent parenting in promoting positive outcomes for adolescents. When parents are consistent in enforcing rules, it reinforces the message that expectations are important and non-negotiable. This consistency helps teenagers develop self-discipline and accountability, essential traits when they transition into adulthood. While setting boundaries is vital, it's equally important to remain flexible. As adolescents grow and mature, their needs and circumstances will definitely change. Parents must be willing to reassess and adjust boundaries as necessary. Encouraging ongoing conversation about expectations allows parents to adapt to their child's evolving needs while maintaining that support and a supportive environment. This adaptability fosters resilience and helps teenagers learn to navigate life's challenges effectively. So simply put, establishing clear boundaries and expectations is fundamental to helping our adolescents feel secure and supported. As parents, we must recognize the importance of providing structure while promoting independence. By doing so, we create an environment that nurtures positive growth, encourages open communication, and empowers our teenagers to make informed decisions. The adolescent years can be tumultuous, but with clear boundaries in place, it can guide our children through this critical period of their development.